What is going on, all you Minties? This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, and join me today as I go over 5 more image hidden gems. So, please stay tuned. Never let it be said that the Uncanny Omar doesn't keep promises. As I've mentioned to you all several times, if you wanted to keep this going, I would keep going because there's a lot of image books, and honestly, there's a lot of Dark Horse and Boom and IDW. Damn, I haven't done my top 10 favorite Boom books yet. Mental note, Omar, write that down. So, I'm going to do 5 more image hidden gems. These may not be hidden to you all. Some of you all may have seen all of these. Maybe some of these are new to some of you. But keep that in mind, there's no order to this. It's just me showing off 5 more books that I think should be read. So, let's kick it off. So, I'm kicking off the list with Skyward. Now, Skyward is the only teen book I have on this list. Everything else after Skyward is going to be mature rating, so keep that in mind. In case you don't like gore, in case you don't like blood, violence, or language, you may just want to stop watching after I talk about Skyward. Skyward is a book that the amazing Amanda and I reviewed last year, I believe. It is written by Joe Henderson. He's the lead writer on the Lucifer Netflix show. I don't want to say TV series, I guess, because it's streaming. But anyway, Lee Garbett is the artist. He's the gentleman that drew Loki, the Agent of Asgard. So pretty much it's a story about how one day Earth's gravity just suddenly became gone. It's gone. So people started floating, and unfortunate things happened to our lead character, who is named Willa Fowler. So 20 years later, this is when she was a baby, when the Earth, it's called G-Day, when gravity just ceased to exist. So Willa, 20 years later, is living on a Earth. It's a different type of Earth, of course, because they're all ziplining now, or using different means, like a gun, to propel themselves through the sky. Otherwise, they would just fall up, which, by the way, is a big fear of mine, because I hate flying kites. Bet you didn't want to know that much information about the Uncanny Omar. The artwork is beautiful in this. That's one of the biggest selling points to me. And it's weird because there's a lot of artists that draw in this style. And, you know, I'm looking at Marco Stode, Pepe Larraz, R.B. Silva. And honestly, to me, it kind of reminds me of what Stuart Eminem was doing back in his Uncanny X-Men days and Ultimate Spider-Man days. But it's really awesome. I really liked it. There's only 3 trade paperbacks. I think it got picked up for a TV show. But if you haven't checked it out, do yourself a favor and check out Skyward. It's freaking worth it. Next up on the list is Luther Strode. This is a book by Justin Jordan and Tradd Moore. You may have heard of Tradd Moore now because he's kind of blown up. He's drawn issues of Venom. He's drawn a lot for Marvel Comics. And recently he did the Silver Surfer Black with Donny Cates. So this is the story of Luther Strode, who's your kind of average comic book tropey geek, right? But he ends up ordering this thing called the Hercules Method bodybuilding system. And he really bulks up ridiculously. However, there's a secret organization, of course, behind this system. And it's as old as mankind itself. And pretty much they go after him. Nothing is ever the same for him after he makes some mistakes. And that's all I will say about that. Because this book was so damn fun. It is, yes, super bloody and graphic, but honestly, it's a page-turner for me. There were 3 series that make up this book. I think it's like The Strange Tales of Luther Strode, The Legend of Luther Strode, and The Legacy of Luther Strode. All 6-issue miniseries are collected in this hardcover. However, the hardcover, I just found out, is out of print. So, maybe read it digitally if you can't find it, unless you have to have it in collected edition. But it is well worth it if you have not read this. It's a lot of fun. It's hyper violent. Yes, I realize that. And it almost borders the absurd. But it works. And it works only because it never really takes itself seriously. And that's one of the best things about this book. And one more thing I need to note are the wonderful, wonderful colors by Felipe Sobreiro. They are a perfect fit for Moore's just insane style. Let's just call it that, because that's what it is, but I love it. It's like he knows how to use the exact amount of color to amplify the storytelling and just make it come to life, and it's a perfect fit for this book. Next up is Weatherman by Jody LeHoup and Nathan Fox. I already did a review of that, so if you want to see a more in-depth review, check out our reviews in a flash, which we do it every week. But if you've not read this, oh man, how do I sell you on this book? It's like, this is the type of book that I wish I had come up with. I wish I came up with this idea just in the way that it looks and the way that it reads. It's a beautiful amalgam of all these European comics that I love mixed with anime and manga. So the story pretty much takes place in the future, and it focuses on Nathan Bright, who is a weatherman, the most popular weatherman on the planet Mars. Like, he's got it all. He's got a faithful dog, a super hot girlfriend, and like I said, the #1 job on Mars. However, there's a secret to Nathan, and it just comes crashing down on him hard because things change like that here. And it gets violent and gory, and it is freaking awesome because you were like, what is happening? So pretty much, Nathan supposedly has this secret, and this isn't a spoiler really, because this happens within the first issue, that he is responsible for the death of pretty much most of the Earth's population. And that's why we're living on Mars now. There's a lot of Easter eggs here, even counting the swordfish from Cowboy Bebop. It's one of the ships that they use on here. So it draws heavy inspiration from anime, and that's what I love about it. I will say one thing: if you are an animal lover, you may not want to read this, because I understand there's just bad things that happen to animals in here, and I want to warn you ahead of time. Again, the rest of these books are all mature ratings, so keep that in mind. At this time, I just want to remind you to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We put out videos every day. We can be found on Redbubble. That's where you get our logo on stickers, t-shirts. Great way to support the channel. And also on Patreon. And thank you to our existing patrons. Let's keep going. Next up is Buzzkill. Now you know the names Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw. I'm sure by now they've gone on to work on Thanos. They've gone on to work on Guardians of the Galaxy. And of course, the ever-popular God Country, the other Image book. But this is a book that I don't hear hardly anybody talk about. It's co-written by Mark Rezenek, I believe it's how you say his name. So it has a pretty interesting premise, one that I've seen before in anime, but I like the way that it's handled here. So Ruben is the lead character. He's the guy that's laying there about beaten and almost dead. And Ruben is not just another addict. He also happens to be a superhero. And his powers are derived from his heavy use of drugs, alcohol, nicotine, and caffeine. Pretty much anything you can get addicted to. So the way that the story is told, it works as a series of flashbacks, and then you go in present time where he's in the support group, where he's just trying to quit and become sober. Because in his past, he abused these drugs and alcohol to just become overpowered, and he lost his woman, he lost pretty much his entire life, so he wants to sober up. However, his villains from the past will not let that happen. They are coming to intervene. They want to come and kill him. But he's not alone, because there is a group of superheroes that are helping him out, and they're like the Avengers meet the Justice League. And I really like this group. Honestly, I would read a whole damn series just on Pterodactyl. I think that was what we said on our review. And the one negative thing I have to say about this is that when you read it, because I think it's only 4 issues, and it's all collected in one here, you will want more. And there isn't any more. I don't think they'll ever bring the character back, but, you know, I don't know. Anything might happen. And wrapping up this list with Farmhand. This is the new story by Rob Giori, who did the artwork in Chew, but he is writing and providing the artwork for this, pretty much doing everything but the lettering himself. And I really enjoyed this. I love his artwork. I fell in love with his artwork during his run on Chew. So it is the story of an aging farmer who's named Jebediah Jenkins. And Jebediah has found a way to grow human body parts on his farm and transplant them onto people, or amputees rather, or people that need internal organs. But the story is more about Ezekiel, who is Jebediah's son, and they have come apart over the years. So when the story kicks off, it kicks off with Ezekiel having a dream and yelling at Jebediah that he should have left him buried underground. So you kind of get the idea that maybe Jebediah also isn't who he says he is. But it's all about this farm. So Ezekiel packs his family and they ride out to go live with his dad because he wants to make amends with his dad. And they go and try to reconcile. But this farm is crazy, and the things that are happening in this town are crazy. And there's a lot of secrets, and there's a little bit of twists and turns, which I really like. There are 2 volumes out so far. A 3rd one is coming out, if I'm not mistaken. But this one was a lot of fun, and I couldn't put it down. This is another one of those page turners. Because, like I mentioned before on this channel, like sometimes I just like reading things that are fun and don't really take a lot of time to read, and this is definitely one of those books. So if you haven't checked out Farmhand, do yourself a favor and check it out. Now, you can get most of these books from our sponsor,
cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off the cover price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. And check out their bargain bin for even greater deals up to 90% off cover price. And for you Minties, Cheap Graphic Novels is running a special promotion. If you're a first-time customer, let them know you were referred by Near Mint Condition at the checkout, and you'll receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more.
And that was my list of 5 more hidden gems from Image. So if you enjoyed this series, or this segment rather, let me know in the comments down below and I'll just make it a segment, because there are a lot of books that I want people to find out, even from the big two, from DC and Marvel, that not a lot of people talk about. So I may mix and match the next time I do it, throw in some IDW stuff, throw in some stuff from DC, throw in some stuff from Marvel, and of course more Image books. Please don't forget to hit like, subscribe if you have not subscribed, ring that bell for notifications to let you know when our videos are going live. And speaking of live, tomorrow on May 26th at 12 p.m. I am going to be interviewing Steve Jeppy from Diamond Comics. He's the gentleman that runs Diamond Comics. So there's a lot of questions that I feel like I could be asking. It's a live interview, so if you want to join and participate in the chat, that would be awesome. And that is at 12 p.m. on May 26th. No, I don't think I have anything else. I guess please remember, everybody, stay healthy, stay safe out there, and more importantly, much love to you all.